Well, hi, I am Randy Gamer, and I am at the GM Renaissance Center here in Detroit, Michigan. This is where our hotel is. It's the Marriott, and it's located in this building, which is the tallest building in Detroit at 727 feet. GM proudly displays some of their automobiles here that they still manufacture in Detroit, so I thought I'd walk around and show you a couple of them before we head out to the river. I did have a couple plans for today, but I have got two bad wheels. Put so many miles on in Asheville wearing flip-flops, and both my Achilles are shot. So I'm stumbling around here. Across the water over there is Windsor, Canada. I was gonna go there. You can take a bus, but it's not worth it. The reviews and stuff, it's $40 round trip. So we're gonna have to figure out something else to do. Let's make this up as we go. Worth noting that today is Monday and it's noon. This isn't a movie set. This is really happening. This is downtown Michigan, Detroit, Michigan, at lunch hour. This should be a busy street. I'm taken back right now how pretty blue this water is. I don't think the phone's really picking up the true color, but it's a nice turquoise color. Actually, for as hot as it is, there's a little bit of a breeze once in a while that'll let you know that you're up north. It shouldn't be this hot. I'm reminded of when I was much younger up in Minnesota going to elementary school. There was a big push then when we were little kids to clean up the Great Lakes. There was a dumping ground. All the industries were just dumping their pollution in there, and they were dirty. Lots of pollution, the water was brown, and look at all these efforts paid off. Kind of cool, because when we were little kids, we'd watch those movies, and we didn't know we were kids, but I remembered them. This water is very beautiful. I wish I had my boat on it here today. I'm gonna wrap this up because I've got to get an attitude adjustment. But this is neat. I'm looking south, and that's Canada over there. So they'll figure out. I walked here to go on that boat because that huge boat, I don't know what's going on there, but it's closed. This one is just doing a practice run today with their people. That's about it. Sorry, I probably won't post this video because it's dumb. I'm gonna try to find a museum or something to look at. The New York Yankees are in town tonight, but that game is at it's at 7 o'clock. We'll be gone by then. That'd have been kind of fun to go to. I'm batting 1,000 this year as far as getting to baseball games. I haven't gone to any major league. I do have St. Louis next week. They do have a home game. I'm going to attend that. 43,300 jobs is what NAFTA took from just this city alone. Most of it all be auto manufacturing. They're not coming back. This town is dead. It's depressing. I'm bummed out today. Even just a couple years ago, this was a fun overnight. There was shit going on, and here comes the cop. I'm gonna get arrested for walking down the middle of the street, but that's one of about 3 cars I've seen. 4. Things are starting to look up. All right, trying to make a bright note, but in the winter, that's usually when you get the long Detroit overnight. But those tubes, just like Minneapolis, a lot of northern towns, these tubes connect all these buildings. So it's kind of fun. You can walk around. There's a lot of buildings you can get access to. Across the street is the courtyard, and they have a Applebee's there. So you can walk over there when it's 30 below, get some Cupacabra ribs, and then there's a convenience store on the corner. I'm gonna go there because I forgot to pack my vitamins this week. They're actually in Nashville. And around the corner, I can't for the life of me remember the name of that pub. Very dangerous at night, but we're gonna go check it out. I'm trying to get a little bit more chipper here as we move forward. Doesn't give me a date on the old Mariners Church, but what a cool building. I like how the copper turns green. We got a commemorative statuette. So I can offer up some positive news for this place. A little bit deeper into downtown. I'm going somewhere in particular, but right now Detroit's office space vacancy it's at 19%, and it's averaging about $28 per square foot. Compare that to Chicago, which is at, I Googled it, I think it's 38% of the building space in downtown Chicago is vacant. That's at an all-time high, and it is going for $48 a square foot. So Detroit might be onto something and getting their friendly neighbors to the west to move over here. So there's some happy news. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. You can get yourself a blanket at the YMCA. Get you some soup. Now, like I said earlier, I was gonna come down here to Comera Park and check out the Detroit Tigers and it's a smaller team out of New York, the New York Yankees. They're playing tonight, 7:05 tonight. I was hoping box office would be open. Sometimes you can sneak in and get a look at the field as they're getting ready to set up, but it's quite early. The game's still about 5 hours away. I've changed my tune. I'm not so bummed out anymore. This isn't gonna work that good with this screen, darn it. A lot of neat buildings down here. Look at that, Little Caesars World Headquarters. Did not know that. I thought it would be more in an Italian town because that is authentic pizza. I like Little Caesars, not gonna lie. Fox Theater. Lots of neat churches. We're gonna double back now and go back to the room, iron the shirts and all that, get ready to go. I'm glad I made this walk. I like to hit baseball games in these big towns whenever I can. I took a wrong turn back there. I wasn't able to get to the pub I wanted to. Also stopped at 7-Eleven for vitamins. They don't sell stuff like that there. But we're gonna keep going. This one might actually make it. We'll see. I'm just shocked at the lack of traffic. I mean, look at this. They're, according to Google, which you know that's fact, they've actually got a pretty good low vacancy rate compared to other big cities, and the rent is cheap. But this is Detroit, Michigan. Come on, Rock City, Motor City Madman, music, the hockey team. I don't like those guys, but the Lions. 1984 was the last year that the Tigers won a World Series. They're due. The Lions are due. The Red Wings, they can suck it. They're on a good streak right now of not winning. Well, again, I've put my foot in my mouth. This is Buddy's, the 1946 original Detroit style pizza. I didn't know Detroit was famous for pizza. We're gonna try it. I'm having a half water, half lemonade. Cuts down on the high fructose corn syrup and gives a little bit of flavor. I'm gonna go with the Greek style pizza. It looks like a gyro, but only in pizza form. This is the Greek pizza. It's supposed to be like a gyro. It looks fantastic. I'm even gonna eat the onions. Me and Savoyas, no bueno. I just got a text, so obviously the video is out of order because I'm back at the room. There's our view. The text was that Buddy's Pizza, where I had lunch, is in fact a Detroit staple. They had their version of a deep dish pizza, and Little Caesars tried to rip them off. And it does look the same when you look at the crust as it's served. It just kind of makes your brain go, that looks familiar, doesn't taste. Buddy's and Little Caesars is $1 versus $100. I like Little Caesars when you're in a pinch, and it's fun to get for when the grandson's in town, but didn't know that Buddy's was famous for their pizza, but now we do. Oh man, I got off that chair and the first dozen steps or so are killing me. My wheels are blown out. Getting old sucks. Hart's Building, that's gotta be Hart's pet food. But look, they got vitamins. Surgical appliances, they got everything there. You see something wrong here? Man. I'm curious. So just this little group of buildings here, these are all very old buildings, and for the most part they look like they're still being used. Built back, union workers. Dad was the only one that went to work. Mom stayed at home, raised the kids, did good stuff like that for the family. So a lot of money, somebody put a lot of money into each and every one of these buildings. My curiosity is, at what point did they break even and actually pay off the initial investment, and how profitable are they today? It's nice that they're not all vacant like some other places. Again, I'm shocked. I think I was doing some reading there at lunch, in Detroit knows what's happening to other major cities, and they're offering some huge incentives to others to come up here and move their business. And why wouldn't you? You've already got the infrastructure for transportation. You got the river, the railroad, the freeway system. I was on the corner back there of Randolph and Mortimer Duke. Not to be confused with Randolph and Mortimer from Trading Spaces, is completely two different guys. Can't get a good shot of this building, but the bronze work up there. Dude in a chariot. There's angels up there. Let's get a little bit closer and get some history on this building. All I can find out so far is this is the Wayne Building, and it was rededicated in 1987. And then this plaque says 1796, but that's a region. The building was definitely not built back then, but we don't build them like this anymore. Fascinating. Yeah, if that flag makes you mad because it's coming up on the 4th of July in 250 years, take that. The cornerstone says it, 1897. Can you believe that? Somebody with their bare hands, more than likely, and some crude tools. I'm guessing maybe this outside facade here on the bottom is a little bit more modern, but That top portion isn't. That was at a quarry, dug out of a quarry, cut, hauled over here. Some brick mason dude came, or dudes plural, put this together. Just simply fascinating to me. I'm getting out of frame here. It's hard to hold the phone up and walk a straight line. This wraps it up. This is what I was looking for, the Sweetwater Tavern. Steaks, burgers, wings, ribs, draft beer. I was the FO, so it was probably at least 5 years ago. Me and the captain, we took the tube tunnel over there to that corner building where the Applebee's is, and then we walked the 2 blocks, froze to death. It was so cold, but we went in there. That place is really, really cool. I want to thank you, as always, for watching my videos. I hope you get something out of them. There is a lot of sarcasm in there, but I do try to get some accurate information. Consider the sources once in a while, but I enjoy doing this. It keeps me moving on some of these overnights that otherwise aren't pleasant. This one certainly started out very, very rough, but it finished good, and I had a blast today. The only thing that would have made it just superior would be to watch the baseball game, but that's in St. Louis, come up in a couple weeks. If that trip goes off as planned, I'm going to share it with you. Thanks for watching.